Yo, what up? Your boy WauKweli here on WauKweli Rants. We about to do our thing one more time. It's a Tuesday today, the 12th February, and we on WauKweli Rants. But yo, just had a really tough day at work today. I'm out here and just and say my piece and just talk like we usually do right about now, right about this time, right? Is it really right about this time? It's whenever. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I would like to talk about the Boston Celtics. Something great, high fiving. I'm doing all kind of crazy. It looks fun. Happening in Boston. It's a bunch of individual people doing their own thing. So what's really going down in Boston? What do you think is really going down in Boston? I kind of said it a long time ago, I think this season, Boston are not going to perform all that great. I kind of predicted. I mean, it's not like they're doing really, really bad. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like, it's not time to hit the panic button or something like that. No, I don't think we're there yet. But they're not performing like we expected they'll perform. And that's what I said earlier this season, beginning of the season. I said it. And I said the problem would be Brad Stevens. Well, he's part of the problem, not the whole problem, according to me, the way I see it. All right. So, I mean, first of all, okay, let's try to dissect this thing down. Let's just jump right into it. All right. I'm hearing the mainstream media talk about, players this season that have regressed, so the team has regressed. They're not playing as good. Numbers are down. Jaylen Brown's numbers are down, I mean. Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, the list goes on, yada, 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 yada. Okay, one, that doesn't necessarily mean that players are regressing or anything. It's just this season is different roles. They're playing different roles. Last season, Kyrie went down. There was no Gordon Hayward. He went down first game. So, players got to step up. Okay, let's just jump. Let's go last year in the playoffs, all right? You have Terry Rozier, right? He was averaging like 16.5 points per game. Now he's averaging 9 points per game, all right? He had like 14 attempts per game. Now it's only down to like 8 attempts per game. Almost like it's slashed in half. That's almost half, all right? That's down. Tatum, he was scoring 18, now it's 16. Jaylen Brown, 16 down to 13. All right. It's not so much, and their numbers, their minutes. I mean, their minutes went down also. So you can't just look at the numbers. This is the thing. I mean, the problem is nowadays, the incentive is output. All right. Your numbers got to be up. That's all we talk about. We look at MVPs and all that, and they're scoring. So MVP, just because they're scoring. All right, well, they're scoring, so they're helping their team to win. Is that the only thing? Is scoring the only thing? And yet we talk about if you want to win a championship, you need defense. Then why are we not promoting defense? I mean, I'm not saying, okay, let's look at defense now, forget about the offense and all that. But constantly, all we look at is the output, the points. That's it. That's what we really look at. Yeah, we do dissect the game. Yeah. Several assists and all that, but assists are geared towards, the points per game. So if you don't have a lot of assists, if, your points per game, your numbers are down on that, they look at you like your game is going down. But it could be this season you're playing a different role. And I think that's where the problem is at. In Boston, it's their roles. Their roles have changed. And majority of those players don't even know their roles. And in addition to that, the incentive is if your numbers are up, when it's time to negotiate, ching ching, money ain't a thing. Well, in this case, money is a thing. So money also plays into it. I mean, you had like what? Scary Terry Rozier talk about he should be getting like 20 mil. He should be a starter somewhere. He feels like he is. He was producing last season. Heck, he was one of the best point guards in the East last season. When Kyrie went down, yes, he was. Because he took his team. Well, that you could say it was his team at that time, him being the point guard. Well, he was the general of a team that went all the way to the finals. All right, let's maybe I'm stretching a little bit by saying he was the best, but you understand what I was trying to get at, all right? You understand what I was trying to get at. And now he's playing, less minutes. What do you want him to do? You think he's going to be happy with that? Come on now. He ain't going to be happy with that. The same thing with all the other youngins. They're looking at my numbers are going down, man. I was almost like, you look at it this season, none of them, you can't even say they were snubbed from being an all-star. You can't. Jason Tatum definitely ain't playing like an all-star this season. Is he? Is he not? Really? Or was just his role has changed? Well, Kyrie. Okay, let's talk about Kyrie. When Kyrie first moved to Boston, his numbers were kind of down. He was more of a facilitator. He was getting everybody involved and all that. And I recall at one point we're talking about the Afro Kyrie, right? The Afro Kyrie, who wasn't scoring that much. He was looking more. He deferred a lot more. And then he cut his afro, and then he went at it. Kyrie's numbers this season are up there. He's scoring a lot more. So, okay, and Gordon Hayward came back. So this is pretty much a team. Okay, the Boston Celtics are supposed to be contenders. We talking about they should be going for the chip. At least that's what we thought from last year coming into this season, right? They should be going for the chip. And now they got Gordon Hayward coming from an injury, and they trying to get him, game ready as a game ready, or get him back to how he used to play in a team that should be competing for a championship. I mean, look at what the Warriors are doing with Cousins, with Boogie. He doesn't have to do a whole lot. And it took a long time for him to actually come back and play. And even right now, everything is pretty much restricted. Yeah, he's performing, but he's not performing like the way he used to. I mean, okay, I'm not trying to make excuses for Gordon Hayward, right? But he's not going to perform like he did before he went down. It will take time. It might never happen again. All right, but they're trying to do that. They're trying to get him back. Probably, his contract also say something. I really don't know on that. I don't know. I can't get into that. But at the same time, he's Brad Stevens' boy, right? So who's really running the show? I mean, okay, so last season, everybody was raving about Brad Stevens. Oh, he's a great coach. He's this, is that. Heck, I even said it myself. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was. But who is he really? I mean, let's go back to college. Brad Stevens, his team, not the very best players, but he had a knack for bringing, average talent, just above average talent, bringing them together and then just get them to actually perform. And he did the same thing when he took the Celtics. Right, Kyrie came in, but when he first came in, there was no superstar per se. Kyrie came in, and eventually Kyrie went down, and everybody expected them not to perform like they did, and they did. They performed really well. Everything was like, okay, let's run a play. Let's do A, B, C, and D, and everybody was involved. Everybody was happy. Everybody was eating. That ball was moving around, and they performed. So now he's got to deal with superstars, Brad Stevens. And that's pretty much the NBA. The NBA, you got to deal with superstars. Being a coach is part of it. You got to keep everybody in check. You got to make everybody happy. You got to get everybody happy. So here's where you come in. Okay, your role is to do A, B, C, and D. Your role is that. Your role is to set screens. Your role is to score. Your role is to... Yes! Is he able to do that? Is he able to keep everybody happy? So far, I don't think so. So far, I don't think so. Or else we wouldn't be hearing what Kyrie come out and talking about, you know, these youngins they're selfish, you know, they don't get it, you know, and him apologizing to LeBron and all that. And then Marcus Morris coming out saying it ain't no fun. Everybody, you know, just it's individuals playing individual basketball. A lot of ISOs and all that. You know he was taking you know who he was taking a shot at. Come on, we all know, right? So yeah. I mean, going back, this is a classic example of the NBA right now. The NBA is trying to create super teams per se. Danny Ainge wasn't trying to get rid of any of those players. I don't know why Terry Rozier is still there until now. I really don't understand that. He should have traded him. But he's there, right? He's unhappy, right? Danny Ainge wants to stack or eventually, you know, trade for AD or some other, you know, big name out there. So he has a lot of talent that he's just holding on to that are not happy. He can't keep him happy. So this is the classic case of trying to stack up and you can't manage your team. They talking about, Brad Stevens talking about a problem is too many talented players. Is that a problem? Should that be a problem? That shouldn't be a problem. Keep them in check. I mean, okay, look at the Warriors. People had to sacrifice. Numbers had to go down. The only problem is the NBA is promoting output. So players don't like it when their numbers go down because it means will also go down. That's where the big bucks is at. So what is really the problem in Boston? Is it money? Is it Brad Stevens? Is it Danny Ainge? Is it Kyrie? What is the problem in Boston? I say the problem in Boston is the NBA. It's a classic case in the NBA, right? I mean, we're so stuck in output. That's why you get a lot of ISOs and all that. We don't see that beautiful basketball, moving the ball and all that. It does happen. I mean, you do need a player like Kyrie to win championships. You do need him. You do need a player like that to go out and close. I mean, I'm not trying to say, you know, Kyrie is the solution to everything, because if you play that way, we see it with James Harden. Everybody's talking about they can't go all the way. And then if you don't have a player like, well, Harden or Kyrie, those superstars and all that, you only go so far also. I mean, the NBA would tell you there've only been, what, 2 teams without a superstar of that caliber to ever win the championship. 2004 Pistons, and I don't know, I think it was the Seattle Supersonics way back in them days that ever won the championship. So you do need those players. You do need to be able to manage ego and all that. You do need to have role players, good role players that understand their position and all that. So the NBA has put itself in a position where right now, super teams are the in thing, right? Free agency is everything. It's a circus right now with the free agency. Everything revolves around money. Of course, it's always economics. It's always economics. But it shouldn't be just, you know, MVP is the player that scores a lot, or the numbers with the most numbers and all that. MVP's valuable. Sometimes you're valuable without those kind of those type of numbers. I mean, those crazy stats, you know, and stacking up or stuffing the stats, right? Like Russell Westbrook, triple doubles and all that. Right now, he just passed Wilt 10 consecutive games with triple doubles. That's pretty impressive. But we all know he was chasing triple doubles. It was a game within the game. We all know that. So does that really mean that, you know, that's the best thing for the team? Does that really is it? It's nice. It's nice. but it's relevant right now. That's what you need to be doing. Ever since the triple-double thing became popular now, you hear it all the time. People talking about, ever since so-and-so came back, he's averaged a triple-double, the past 2-3 games. It's the end thing right now. We promote that. The more people hear that, they think that's a great player. And we forget about those players that actually, that hockey assist. The assist that led to the assist that got the team that crucial bucket. What about that dude? There are a lot of players that do that. There are a lot of players that set screens, crucial screens that get you that bucket that you need to win the championship. What about those guys? And we don't talk about them. We don't promote that. So it's always scoring. Heck, it's scoring. You could have freaking, 30 assists and somebody else has 30 points. We're going to be celebrating the guy that scores the most. I mean, that's not happening, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's it. And that's what's really happening. Those youngins in Boston are not happy. Kyrie is doing Kyrie right now. Brad Stevens, he can't manage that crew. Well, let me not say he can't, but he's struggling to manage that crew. And Danny Ainge is just Danny Ainge, is stacking up. He's stacking up. Problem in Boston is the current NBA, the way it's set up. It's a superstar league. Everybody wants money. It's economics right now. There's a lot of money going around. It comes down to that. People want to stack the stats. Patterns, stats, and all that. That's the NBA right now. A lot of teams know they can't win the championship, so you might as well make that money, right? You can't blame them. You can't blame them. Money is the issue. Everything else is just a byproduct. Just comes after. Brad Stevens, Danny Ainge, the players, numbers, and everything. That just comes after the fact. It's economics. It's the NBA. The NBA is also trying to sell the product, so it is economics. It's money. They trying to sell the product. You got to make it look sexy, and scoring is sexy. That's why, they're not promoting defense. You can barely touch anybody right now. They're selling what sells. And right now, the same thing is coming to bite the Boston Celtics. All right, people. I've been ranting for a long time today, all about Boston Celtics. But before I head out, I just want to remind everybody out there, man, the Bravehearts are coming to town, yo. Bravehearts are coming to town. So make sure you show up. Let's bring that in. Coming to Dar es Salaam, where they leave on the 27th. March 1st. It's going down in Dar es Salaam. Griff, Malawi. I know I got a lot of people in Malawi watching this show and all that. WauKweli rants. Malawi, welcome to Dar es Salaam. We can't wait for you guys to come out here so you lose. Yes, waiting for that. It's going to be great. So make sure you you pen that down that weekend. That 27th is a Wednesday. So we talking about from the 29th all the way to March 1st. Make sure you show up at BBK Park. It's going to be nice. It's going to be lit. It's going to be off the chain, off the whatever. All right. That's your boy WauKweli. I'm about to be out. Peace. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Sayonara.